So NAIC 2026 has come and gone, and I was surprised at first that a box took it home with first place, but now that I'm thinking about it, in a meta where 2 or 3 decks are the main deck people use, a box does make sense because you have a pretty good chance of facing a Crustle, a Dragapult, Team Rocket, some very common decks. And so if you have a box that can combat each of those, you know exactly whenever you see your opponent which format to use within your box to take the win. And this deck makes easy work of Dragapult. So if you're new here, I think the best way to get better at Pokemon is trying out new decks, because that way whenever your opponent has a deck you've piloted before, you kind of know how to combat that and you get to learn some more new cards. And so if you're into that, please subscribe. I'd love to have you along for the ride. So Dragapult, still number 1 in the meta. We'll go over that first. That main combatant is 4 of Lillie's Clefairy. We all know it. We all love it. It has Fairy Zone, where the weakness of Dragon Pokemon is Psychic. So of course this will take out any Dragapult, get your easy 2 prizes. But let's start from the basics. So we are playing as our supporters 3 Latias, and the reason we're playing so many Latias is because every Pokemon in this deck is basic, and it's very, very important not to prize your Latias, and so that's why there's 3, just because they're so important. If you don't have a Latias, you're basically going to lose. We're playing Mega Kangaskhan, our only Mega Pokemon, and really one of the only Mega Pokemon we see utilized. Mega Pokemon are not very popular in the meta, which, not surprising, it's 3 prizes, but Run Errant, we're pretty much only going to use this for that ability to draw 2 cards, and then with Latias we can move it out and promote our attacker. 2 other supporters, we're playing Fez and Meowth. We're playing 4 Meowth, which sounds like a lot, but our deck, or the winning deck really derives from supporters with Boss's Orders for disruption, for Crispin to load up energies. Very, very important since you're playing a wide variety. And then of course Cyrano for searching your deck up for 3 EX Pokemon. All right, so I've got my notes here on what I think each mechanism of this box is used for. So first up is Moltres. If you're going against a grass deck, Teal Mask Ogerpon is susceptible to Moltres. It is weak to fire and it's EX, so it does 110 damage, just 220 damage. So Moltres can 1-hit KO for only 1 fire energy, a Teal Mask Ogerpon, so that is great. That is an easy 2 prize. We have Chien-Pao, which is for its ability Snow Sink. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, you may discard a stadium. That is great if you're playing against someone who needs Risky Ruins for the Munkidori, or if you're playing against a Slow King and they need Academy at night. So that is great for discarding the stadium at play. Wellspring Ogerpon EX is great early game for the Sob move. It does 20 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. So lock a Badoo up there, so they're stalled for 1 turn, so you can get set up properly. Koraidon, when I first saw this, I was curious. I was like, what could it be used for? And then I realized that Kangaskhan, Meowth, and Fezandipiti, 3 supporting Pokemon that are in a lot of decks, are weak to fighting. And so with 1 Crispin, you could load up the Aurichilcum thing, but only if like your opponent was, or if your Pokemon was knocked out last turn. So it does 170 times 2 damage, which is great, and then Impact Blow for 200. So I think, because you could 1-hit KO a Kangaskhan and get 3 prizes, and a lot of decks run it. Now this deck is all about having control of the board. Our A-Spec is Prime Catcher to help with that fact. You can switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active, either promote their Kangaskhan, get the easy 3 points, 3 prizes, or maybe a Dragapult or something where you need to take it out from the bench. So Prime Catcher is great. We're also playing 3 Boss. 2 Ciphermaniac for the Kangaskhan ability. 4 Crispin. I found Crispin, as I was playing with this deck, to be the most important because you're playing with such a wide variety of energies. Excuse me. This helps you load up attackers. If they take out your Lillie's Clefairy, just use a Crispin, or Meowth to Crispin, and then load up another Lillie's Clefairy, and then Lillie's Pearl. Great for Lillie's Clefairy. Put it on there, and they take 1 fewer prize. So that turns Lillie's Clefairy into a single prize Pokemon, which is great because we're playing a lot of 2 prizers. Telepathic, load onto a Lillie, search for a Latias, or vice versa. So let's take this into TCG Live. Now, I am in no way a master of this deck. This is all just going to be fun to test out the deck. So if you see anything that I could have done differently, please let me know in the comments. Let's see, Tails. I believe we want to go first. just so we can actually, I don't know, because we play so many supporters, it might be better to go second with this so we can get the cards we need in our hand. We can even use a Meowth early game for a Crispin to load up. This deck does not play any Lilies, and so it's really up to the draw of Kangaskhan. Ooh, interesting. 3 Area 0 under depths in my opening hand. That is kind of weird, actually. We are playing a telepathic, so I don't know. We'll run Errand, get 2 cards, and see if we can get some kind of support. Ooh, Charmander, a Charizard deck. Now, it has been a while. Luckily, they're weak to water, I think, depending on which Mega Charizard he's going after. So we'll get the Wellspring Ogerpon up there, start loading her up, and then we'll see what he grabs. If I had to guess, ooh, a boss. Okay, so we know for a fact he has a boss in hand. Good to know. Meowth promote, which is interesting. Wait, how did he... Did I miss something? How did he... Oh, if this Pokemon has no energies, no retreat cost. Okay. I was like, how did I miss that? Okay, that is awful. Let's run air and see what we get. Oh, Cryno, that's awesome. Okay. So here we can get all that we need. So I think we need... Latias for sure. Let's go ahead and get the Meowth and then the Wellspring since they're playing a fire deck. We will put this here. I think we'll go ahead and do this. We can lock Meowth in. Area 0. I don't think I want to do Area 0 yet, but we can retreat, sob, and actually lock their Meowth. It does 20 damage. Cool. So that was a really good top deck, that Cryano. Hold on, am I saying that right? Cyrano. I say Cryano. Cyrano. Boss's orders. That is interesting because I have the Latias in play. I wonder if he doesn't realize that I can, or that he can't retreat. Unless he's got a switch. Oh, he doesn't realize it. He doesn't realize he can't retreat. Boom, 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 boom. He just realized it. He probably just clicked on it and realized. Boom, that's awesome. And that means, should we... Yeah, okay, he's stuck. So let's do this. It's a little annoying that I can't use Kangaskhan, but we could... Hold on, I could take out the Charmander. Let's do this. Let's retreat, promote you. Let's do Meowth for a Crispin. Yeah, that's good. And then Crispin, let's grab 1 water and I guess a fire. We don't need a fire this round, so we'll put that in my hand. We'll just go ahead and burn it and put it on Wellspring. So now we can use a Torrential Pump, which would do 120 damage to Charmander. Yeah, I think we'll chase the Charmander just because we don't want them to evolve. Yes, so we'll do that. 120 and the 120, perfect. So you only have 50 HP left. That'll be an easy 2 prize later. Oh, Lily's Pearl. That's cool. I guess we could use Lilies, but I think we're fine with the Wellspring for now. Let's see what they grab. A Charmeleon. Interesting. Do you have... Okay, I'm not sure exactly why he did that. Okay, Fez for 3 more cards. Got the Charmander. Now, the problem is I can't use a Torrential Pump. Ooh. An Oricorio. The Oricorio is a problem. As often as like during your turn, if you have any Mega Pokemon in play, you may attach a basic to your hand to one of your benched. Okay, so that's important. So if I lock the Oricorio, oh, they got 2 of them. They can't use a rare candy because they just played those this turn. Also, I'm correct in thinking that the Mega Charizard is weak to water, right? Ideally, we want to stop them from getting the Charizard. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We can lock you, or do I want to lock the Oricorio? I thought I had a boss. I could have sworn I had a boss. I do have this, so I can use more. Man, I really don't want to. Okay, we'll use Sob. Lock Fez up there just for now. And the next turn, we could either Meowth for a Crispin. The Charmeleon. Do you have another one? Okay. So fire energy. We'll do you. Okay. So let's do Sob again to lock him. I really don't like doing that, but I don't really have anything in my hand to support. I don't have any draw, and I can't retreat to draw Kangaskhan because then I can't. Okay. I believe you are weak to water. Yes, you are. So 360. That's not quite enough, but it's 3 prizes. Okay. So he's ready to go. Discard any number and attack does 90 damage for each. Okay. Okay, so they have 6 energies on one, meaning they're putting all their eggs into one basket. From one of your Pokemon does 90 damage per. They really should be dispersing it between the two, because that means if I take out a Charizard, this Charizard in particular, they'll have 6 energies in the discard pile. And I think Fire Breather gets it from your deck, not your discard pile. So I think he's overzealous. Okay. So Air Balloon, you can't retreat anyways. That's fine. Charmeleon. Ooh, I could take that out. So let's do this. Oh, Prime Catcher. A Prime Catcher is fantastic. Okay. So let's do this. The Prime Catcher for this Charizard. We'll put up the Kangaskhan. That way we can do the run errand. Hold on. Should I Meowth for... Let's do that. Meowth for Ciphermaniac to get 2 cards we need. Yep. And then that way we can get... Okay, Ciphermaniac. Let's get another Wellspring. Crispin we definitely need. Let's do another Meowth. Let's do another Meowth. So we'll do this. Okay. So we have enough to do this. We can retreat you, promote you. I don't like that I don't have a backup attacker, but I do have another... We'll do this. 200 damage. And then, hold on, would you like to shovel energy? Yes. Don't apply weakness and resistance for the bench. Okay, so I'll have to do the Charmeleon. Great. And now I just need 160 damage, which I should be able to do with Lillie's Clefairy. Ah, man. That would have been great if I did something, if I got anything else. Okay. So they're going to take out, hopefully they'll take out. Okay, so yeah, he's just going straight for the attack. But now I can do Fez, I can do Kangaskhan, Lilies. I need to figure out a way. Okay, I have 2 Wondrous Patches. Why'd they only do 1? Wait, why'd they only do 1? Okay, that threw me off. Hold on, let me think. That's throwing me off. I'm confused. Why did he do that? I don't... Okay. So we'll do this. Oh, but it's not attached to a psychic Pokemon. Man, that completely threw me off. So weird. He's really throwing me off here. And then we will do this for 40. Okay. Hold on, let me reread this. Discard from your Pokemon anyway. So he could have done the main Charizard. I don't understand. Man, I was in such good flow, and then he threw me off. Why is he doing the Meowth and not the Kangaskhan? He could have done the Kangaskhan and gotten 3 prizes. You better take me out. I don't know what you're doing. Okay. Why did he discard every single... What is this guy doing? You're throwing me off my groove. Okay, so let's get back on track. He took 2 prizes. We're going to do Kangaskhan. We're going to actually win here. Okay, so 200. And then, yes, we'll do the Meowth. And so we should be able to win here. I'm so confused. Yeah, that's it. Wow. Great game. I'm not sure what happened there. Wow, Wellspring Ogerpon, really the star of the show here. Only 960 damage. That was good. It's a fun deck. I definitely need to play with it more. I would not take this in person. I'm not that great at playing it, but it's got potential. I can see why it won in NAIC. So let me know your thoughts of this deck in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.